Welcome to Minding My Money. I'm your host, Shawnee, and this is where the journey to financial freedom is real, raw, and a little bit fun. I'm sharing my wins, my lessons, and everything in between, $1 at a time. Now, before we jump in, let me say this. This ain't financial advice, just financial realness. Let's take it back to 2017. I was in grad school, broke and burnt out. I had just been evicted and had to move back in with my mom. That alone was humbling. But on top of that, I was working in a hostile clinic environment where I had to take a pay cut just to keep a job while in grad school. This was the same job where I was written up for not confronting somebody else about their birth control being in the refrigerator. Yes, you heard that right. A NuvaRing next to my Caesar salad somehow became my problem. I emailed the manager respectfully, didn't name names, just asked if we could find a more sanitary place for medication. What I got in return was a write-up for not addressing the issue privately. Meanwhile, the real issue, food and medication sharing the same space, was completely ignored. That moment was one of many. I was dealing with professional disrespect, personal financial strain, and academic pressure all at once. I wasn't just tired, I was mentally and emotionally hanging on by a thread. And that wasn't even the worst of it. I went from that job to what I thought was a dream role, case management, my highest paying hospital position. It was all black leadership, and I thought I'd finally made it. Instead, it turned out to be the most toxic workplace I'd ever experienced. I was micromanaged, targeted, and written up, and right after receiving the best performance evaluation in the entire department. I was praised for my metrics, patient care, and collaboration. And then I was handed a write-up full of lies that contradicted everything I had just been told in my evaluation. The difference this time, I was ready. I refused to sign that piece of paper. I had receipts, I had recordings, and I knew my worth. But even before that breaking point, I had already been through so much. Moving back in with my mom after eviction, being underpaid and overlooked, watching people steal my ideas, surviving a car accident that totaled my almost paid off car, applying for jobs and getting no after no, and crying out to God asking when my breakthrough would come. I was ready to fight, and I mean literally, like lay hands. But a coworker who was like a mother figure to me pulled me to the side and said, "Don't do this. This is the enemy trying to make you self-sabotage. Your breakthrough is coming. Don't blow it now." And I listen. One thing about me, I'm always going to listen to people who I know care about me. And she was right. From my own experience, I've learned that strength isn't loud. Sometimes strength is silent. It's making yourself show up when you want to disappear. It's budgeting while burnt out. It's refusing to shop your pain away. It's being strategic when you want to scream. I stopped reacting and started planning. And so this is what I did. I cleaned out my work desk early. I wrote my resignation letter months in advance. I told God this: make it obvious if a job isn't right for me, because at that time I was applying and applying heavy. And when the time came, I didn't need to prepare. I was already ready. Desk was empty and resignation letter already in the save folder. The day I submitted my resignation, the same people who disrespected me and wrote me up were suddenly sad to see me go. Funny how that works. My strength was built and not bought. I didn't download this strength. I didn't inherit it. I earned it. And I earned it through every uncomfortable budget, every boundary that felt terrifying but necessary, every lie I didn't respond to, and every time I wanted to quit but didn't. I'm not just standing here. I'm clearer, I'm grounded, I'm more disciplined. I don't just look strong, I am strong because I'm built for this. Pressure never waits until you're ready. It piles on when you're already tired, when your bank account is low, when your confidence is fragile. And the wild part, pressure didn't come from one place. It came from work, from school, from finances, from expectations, especially the ones I put on myself. But pressure doesn't just crush, it reveals. It showed me how resourceful I was, how disciplined I could be, and how much strength I was using without even realizing it. Before I admitted I was done, my body already knew. I was tense all the time, exhausted but wired, unable to rest even at home, and my nervous system stayed on high alert, bracing for the next hit. And that's when I learned this. If your body is screaming, it's because your spirit has been whispering for so long. Because people think strength is snapping back, clapping back, and setting someone straight in the moment. But some of my strongest moments were invisible. The emails I didn't send, the arguments I walked away from, the disrespect I documented instead of reacting to. That wasn't my weakness. That actually was some restraint. And restraint is power too. Even at my lowest, I didn't abandon myself. I still tracked my spending, still showed up to class, still made plans even when money was tight, and I didn't numb my pain with shopping. I didn't sabotage future me to soothe present me. That discipline didn't come from having money. It came from believing I wouldn't always be here. My waiting season built muscles. Waiting doesn't feel productive, it feels frustrating. But waiting taught me patience, timing, and preparation. I was being trained for rooms I hadn't entered yet, strengthened for responsibilities I hadn't received yet. And what felt like delay was actually development. At some point, I stopped trying to convince people. I stopped over explaining, stopped shrinking my truth to make others feel comfortable. I didn't need validation anymore. I needed alignment. And once I stopped explaining myself, I conserved energy for what actually mattered. Not every glow up is visible. Some growth looks like saying no without guilt, leaving without announcing it, choosing peace over being right, and making boring but powerful decisions. My growth wasn't loud, but it was solid, and solid lasts. Real power isn't control over others. It's knowing deep down that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. That confidence doesn't come from money alone. It comes from surviving storms and realizing I've been here before and I made it through. I didn't ask to be this strong. Life demanded it, but every setback sharpened me, every loss refined me, and every pressure point produced power. So let's close out this way. To you that's listening, maybe life bent you, but it didn't break you. You're not fragile, you're forged. You are someone your younger self would be proud of. You kept showing up, you kept choosing better, you kept building, even when it didn't look like strength. And that is what real strength is. Now, it's your turn. What's one thing that made you stronger, even if it didn't look like strength at the time? Let me know here in the YouTube comments or on Instagram. I want to hear your story. That wraps up this episode. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We rise, not despite the struggle, but through it. See you next week. Thanks for tuning into Minding My Money, where every dollar has a story and every story brings us closer to financial freedom. If you felt inspired, learned something new, or just vibe with the journey, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs it. You can also catch more content and behind the scenes moments on YouTube and Instagram. Just search Minding My Money. Until next time, keep minding your money $1 at a time.